Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Max India Limited Q3 FY23 earnings conference call. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on beliefs, opinions and expectations of the company as on the date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajat Mehta, Managing Director, Max India Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Max India Limited, I extend a warm welcome to all of you for this Q3 and 9 months FY23 earnings call. For the benefit of audiences who might be joining us for the first time, I have with me my colleague Ajay Agarwal, who is the CFO for Antara Senior Living, and also the Head for Investor Relations of the company, our SDA and SDR Investor Relations Advisor. Also have members of the management team with me, Ishan Bami, who is the COO for Antara Assisted Care, Sandeep Pathak, who is the CFO for Max India, and Ankit, who is the Finance Head for Antara Assisted Care, and Ishan from the Investor Relations Division. We have uploaded our result presentation on the exchanges, and I hope everybody has the opportunity to go through the same. I'm going to begin the call on a somber note. As you know, in our wholly owned subsidiary Antara Assisted Care Services, in the care home vertical, which is one of the businesses that we handle, in one of the facilities in South Delhi, unfortunately a fire incident happened, in January. And of the 15 residents and the companions and some staff who were staying there, while all others were safely rescued, 2 residents unfortunately succumbed in the incident. On behalf of the entire team at the Max Group, our deepest sympathies, condolences to the families who lost their loved ones. Our hearts and prayers have been with them in these difficult times, and we are doing everything possible to make sure we cooperate fully with the investigating authorities. I want to reassure you that Max follows the required standards of safety, and we are also engaging with some external experts now to make sure we get appropriate advice for the future. We have also made sure we have taken care of the affected residents, and staff affected by this tragedy. And once again, our sincerest, deepest condolences to all the families who lost their loved ones. With that, I would like now to shift on to some of the business highlights, please. On a consolidated basis, so in the quarter, the growth story, the story of improving financial results continues for us. Our revenues have gone up by 6% to 153 crores in the 9th-month period and 8% to rupees 46 crores in Q3 FY23 compared to same quarter last year. Our consolidated EBITDA has gone up 7x to 6.5 crores in 9 months FY23, and treasury and other monetizable assets stood at a healthy number of 450 crores as of December 22. On the residences side, for Dehradun, we only have 8 units left and achieved a price of 27% collection. We have collected 615 crores inception till date. On the Noida front, out of 340 units, we are only left with 6 units to sell now and achieved a collection of 212 crores, which is a 3.2x growth over last year. In terms of construction, we are on target. In terms of timing, we've already constructed 19 floors of all the 3 towers, R1, R2, R3 respectively as on December 22. So literally what this means is we're constructing 1 floor every 15 days in each tower. On Antara Assisted Care, overall 34% increase in terms of revenue, excluding the COVID revenues from the corresponding previous period, but more specifically on care homes, an increase of 100% in revenue with similar contribution margins. On care at home, the revenue has grown by 35%, contribution improved from -2 to 14% in Q3 FY23. Similarly, on Medcare, 18% increase in terms of revenue, and the margin has also improved from -3% to 3% in Q3 FY23. As some of you may have joined the call for the first time, just wanted to remind you that Antara is perhaps one of the only organizations in India trying to create for seniors. because we are uniquely placed, having competencies of hospitality, healthcare, and real estate, all available to us under one roof. Max also has had, the ability to spot opportunities early. So the senior care opportunity was spotted by Antara in 2010, and now is a leading brand which offers a perfect blend of lifestyle with life care products for all seniors. In terms of overall market size, when we had done the sizing way back in 2019, it was $10 to $12 billion of unfulfilled demand, and we believe that we are best placed to be able to address a part of this opportunity. Our focus continues to be on customers with household income of 15 lakhs and above in the three clusters of North, West, and South. Currently, we are present in NCR, but soon stepping into the South and West clusters as well for further expansion. Just to reiterate, we have 4 business verticals. For seniors who are independent but want to live in a community of like-minded people in a safe, secure environment, we offer residences, which people can choose Dehradun, which is a resort style, option, or condominium style like in Noida, and similar options will come up in Gurgaon, Bangalore, Pune in the future. For seniors who can't be maintained at home because of aging-related issues in terms of mobility, medication administration, or monitoring or bathing, or have gone through an intense medical episode, need to recuperate for some time, or people who come from outside the city or country who after surgery have to stay for a while, we offer the care home facilities. This is more popularly called assisted living outside India. And people who have cognitive, neuro disorders, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's in early stages, we also offer memory care, care home option. For those who require the same services in the convenience of their home, through Care at Home, we offer things like critical care, physiotherapy, diagnostics, nurse at home, caregiver at home, pathology, etc. About 16 service lines. And if seniors require some products for their comfort and recovery like wheelchairs, hospital beds, air mattresses, respiratory equipment, we also offer it through our medcare equipment vertical. We had commenced our journey in Antara in 2013 with the first community in Dehradun, second one in Noida in 2020. And as shared earlier, both have done quite well from a sales and collection perspective. Also gives me immense pleasure to state we've already sold about 189 units in Dehradun. Only about 8 are left as of December 22. We have achieved our monthly sales collection target of 8 crores per month in Q3 FY23. The project continues to be PBT positive, debt-free, and cash positive. And now it's a vibrant community of more than 125, 150 residents staying there and enjoying the services in a very, very pristine environment. And our resident satisfaction scores are consistently above 90%, with more than 50% of sales coming through resident referral, which again is a huge vindication of the belief in that product. We leveraged our learnings and launched the second community in Sector 150 in Noida, which is a sports sector. Launched in Jan 2020 as a joint development model where there's a landowner who's contributed the land and is being developed under an SPV. As I said, we've already sold about 334 of the 340 units as of December 22, despite the 20% hike we took in the prices so that we're able to mitigate some of the impact of the rising material costs. Despite that, we have had impressive sales. Construction is in full swing, already completed 19 floors, and hopefully should be able to hand over possession as promised by early 2025. Already collected about 212 crores and a monthly sales collection of 15 crores a month in Q3 FY23. We are now in the stage of planning for launching of Noida Phase 2 and are in advanced discussions for our future projects in Gurugram, Bangalore, and Pune as well. For Antara, we have so far served about 11,500 patients since inception, or customers I would say rather say, since inception. So the largest player in NCR in terms of assisted living, in terms of bed capacity. We added about 63 beds in Q2, FY23, and 36 beds of memory care were launched in September 22. It's one of its kind product with very thoughtful infrastructure, safety, security, and well-trained staff, on memory care, with modules certified by the Healthcare Sector Skills Council and appropriate therapies for comfort of seniors. We also added some beds near Medanta and Gurgaon and some near Dwarka, near Manipal Hospital. We've also expanded our hospital and clinician tie-ups, Max Healthcare, Narayana, Manipal, Dwarka, and 1,000 plus engagements being held with healthcare and professionals, all across NCR in this 9-month period. On the medical equipment side, all building blocks both for sales and rental for equipment are in place. We have about 1,100 plus SKUs of a robust back-end and inventory management, warehousing and logistics. We launched our first Antara branded wheelchair with senior specific features which we researched for a long time. For example, the material of the chair, for example, a better grip, what material to use in the wheels, a safety belt while in motion, etc. So it's a thoughtfully designed product now available on Amazon, Flipkart, Tata 1mg. We have already sold about 60 plus Antara branded wheelchairs through offline and online channels since the time we launched this. We have also received the QI certification for our care home vertical, one more vindication of our commitment to excellence and quality. Our satisfaction scores in Antara assisted care were consistently above 93% and renewals are about 70%, again, which is a proof of the customer's belief in the product and services that we have launched. We are also working hard to make sure how we can differentiate, our products as we go along. Quick highlights of the consolidated financial performance. Revenues increased by 6% to 153 crores in the 9-month period of FY23. I'll repeat some of the figures. So 450 crores in treasury as well as other monetizable assets to be able to fund our growth. In terms of assisted care segmental performance on care homes, revenue increased by 59% in 9-month FY23. The Gurgaon care home continues to be contribution positive and contribution margin improved from 8% in Q2 FY23 to 12% in Q3 FY23. Occupancy has ramped up from 36% in Q3 FY22 to 58% in Q3 FY23 for Gurugram. And the revenue also grew 56% to about 1 crore in Q3 FY23, a great validation both of the business model and unit economics which we had put in place. We've also witnessed a very high conversion ratio, so people who come and see the care homes, about 50% choose the facility and 70% renew, as I said earlier. Similarly, on the care at home, the net revenue stood at 1.7 crores, which represents a growth of 35% year on year, and contribution margin grew from 2% in Q3 FY22 to 14% in Q3 FY23, and the Medcare revenue grew by 18%. So just to summarize, we are well on our way in terms of growth in all the 4 verticals, steadily improving our contribution margin and profitability, and we have enough liquidity in our balance sheet to fund our growth. We aspire in the future, and God willing, everything going well, to have 8 to 10 communities for residences for seniors in the next 5 years, and about 2,000 beds of care home, memory care home across North, West and South clusters. And we're now also looking at can we do some digital channels as well and white labeling of medical equipment to improve our margins. This is all I had from my side. Thank you very much for listening patiently. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone wishing to ask a question may please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, you may please press star and 1. The first question is from the line of Apurva Doshi from SK Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So I would like to ask, what is the strategy in the care at home segment? Like, what are the growth levers for that vertical?
So in care at home, as you know, it's a well-recognized category in India, and more and more services are shifting, to home. So we offer 16, products and service lines in the care at home vertical. Our focus obviously is on services that offer high margins like, critical care, physiotherapy and diagnostics. So our intention is to be able to, progress this vertical in conjunction with other business, verticals that we have. And soon we'll be entering other geography in the next few months on the care at home side.
Okay, got it. And also, sir, what is the top line growth that can be achieved over the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, I won't like to make any forward-looking statement, but I shared with you earlier, we have now witnessed very healthy growth on this vertical in the 9-month period, and also a significant, the revenue has gone up by 35%, and contribution significantly improved from -2% to 14% in Q3 FY. Hopefully, we should be able to continue this trajectory.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. That is on the line of Anant Mundra from My Temple Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, sir. Sir, I just wanted to check that we had guided for 225 rooms to be opened by the end of FY23. So, are we on track for that?
That's our endeavor. So, we are under discussion with several people right now, and that's our endeavor to be able to reach that target.
Okay. So mainly, what is the bottleneck? Like, because we've established a proof of concept. So, what is it? What is it that is stopping us from scaling up? Given that we have adequate liquidity on our balance sheet. Just wanted to check, like, what is the bottleneck? How long does it take to turn around a property, close the negotiation, all that? Yeah.
Appropriate infrastructure, up to our standards of expectation to be able to deliver what we want to deliver as quality of care to the customer. So that's the bottleneck really.
All right. And in the next financial year, we'll be venturing outside Delhi NCR as well.
That's the aspiration, yes.
All right. And sir, similarly, how is the pipeline for residences for seniors looking like? Because I mean, we are almost sold out at our phase 1. I think 334 out of 340 is already done. So we don't have any inventory at hand. So
that's why I said in advanced discussions for the Gurgaon project, and also pursuing Bangalore and Pune opportunities. But for Gurgaon, very advanced discussion. Also preparing for phase 2 of Noida, since we have a pent-up demand in that area in any case.
So phase 2 of Noida should be launched by when, sir?
Well, we're waiting for clarification from the statutory authorities. So we're waiting for that. Otherwise, the land parcel is already with us.
All right. And sir, given that we are completely integrated, like we are providing everything that is required for senior care. So are we planning some kind of a digital platform or some kind of technology wherein anybody who requires any kind of senior care services can just come on that and choose whatever they want? So just wanted to understand our strategy on the digital side or some platform, something like that.
As I said in my concluding statement, we are looking at exploring a digital opportunity, but too early for me to comment. But yes, very much on our cards, and you are right. That's something we should be able to pursue in the future.
All right. That's it from my end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Ullas Paymaster, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening. My first question is that you mentioned that the overall untapped market for senior citizens is around $10 to $12 billion. And when you say that you have a very good brand name, what is holding up to ramp up your operation to achieve a reasonably large market share of the untapped market? How long will it take to really be a significant player in this market?
So as I've been saying in the earlier calls as well, unfortunately 2 years of COVID took away some of the momentum we had wanted to achieve, but we are back on track, as you can see from the growth numbers. And therefore, in the next 4 to 5 years, we want to really achieve what you are saying, a dominant position. We have the money in the bank. We are currently making sure that we are putting the right team together. We already have hired a lot of people, but there's no constraint apart from execution that we have to undertake. And also, while the demand is there, how fast the demand converts to need is the timing we'll have to see and perfect. So we're currently, aggressively scaling up at this point of time to the extent possible. As I said, there are some constraints on infrastructure which we are solving. And each state, as we go forward, each state will have a different, regulatory structure for us to comply to. So currently, it's just a question of, fast-pacing execution. Nothing else is stopping us, honestly.
Yeah. Second question is, what is the situation on your care home at Greater Kailash? Because you said Durgam is already making a profit, but Greater Kailash has been an older property. So what is the situation in terms of occupancy and the profitability?
So first of all, Greater Kailash is not an older property. It came after Gurgaon, about 69 Gurgaon. And currently, since because of the incident, it's not operating at this point of time, and we're waiting for all the investigations and the insurance surveys to conclude, and then we'll take the call.
No, but what was the historical occupancy before the incident?
So I remember correct, about 35%.
And in terms of profitability?
It would have, as per our business model, moved towards, break even in the next few months, as per our plan.
And the third question is on the medical equipment business. So you have just mentioned that the overall turnover is about 1.8 or 2 crores. Now, looking at the overall size of the company and the group, how do you justify the management's focus on a business which is hardly 2 crore per year turnover?
So as I said, sir, this is an opportunity we had seized during COVID times, and not part of our initial business plan. We saw the opportunity. In the past, we have tried to do some acquisition which fell through. So we now, started to rebuild in a different manner, and now also gone on the various platforms. We just listed on Amazon only in October with 6 SKUs. And now in the process of expanding those SKUs and doing more and more white labeling to capture margins. The next few months, you'll find far more traction. I mean, I can't comment on January, otherwise I'd have told you how well it has done, but you'll see in the next few quarters it's tracking well.
Well, what is the ballpark, just very rough estimate of the kind of market you see of this business?
In terms of size?
Yeah, in terms of value, turnover.
So the total market size, as we assessed earlier, was about $750 million of the Medcare market, of the kind we deal in.
So Delhi would be what, about 10 to 15% of that?
I wouldn't have that number, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Anjana Shah from Shah Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you for this opportunity, sir. 2 questions from my end. First one, so which are the different products in the Medcare segment launched on e-commerce website? And second, how is the traction for Antara branded wheelchair which was listed on Amazon?
So currently we have 5-6 SKUs of wheelchair available at Amazon, Flipkart and 1mg. Since launch is about 3 months now, we have sold about 60, both through offline and online, of wheelchairs. And the next products, 5 or 6 SKUs are in the offing, should be, listed very soon.
Sure, sir. And so the different products in the Medcare segment?
So we have products on the respiratory side, mobility side. So things like, commode chairs, shower chairs, oxygen concentrators, air mattresses, hospital beds, supports for knee, elbow, neck, etc. As well as, wheelchairs, walkers, those kind of products.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's it from my end.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and 1. The next question is on the line of Ranadeep Sen from Mass Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. There was a notification recently about the subscription-based elder care elder care facility will pay 18% GST. So do you see any major impact, especially for care at home services?
So no impact as far as we are concerned.
Okay. And
we don't offer subscription models.
Okay. And can you elaborate the plan on the Pune? While you mentioned it, I think the discussions are on with the builders around. Can you elaborate further? Like, where are we on the Pune launch?
Can't make forward-looking statement, but I'll turn over to Ajay.
So basically, we are into a very advanced discussion both at Gurgaon and Bangalore. We are at the term sheet stage. Some negotiations final going on, but we have identified the land, and as sir suggested, we are also now going to work on phase 2, wherein we are in dialogue with the authorities to get the approvals as at the earliest, and thereafter, and other things which are pipeline is Pune and other geographies, but that is still not at the term sheet stage, so we are not able to comment. But clearly, Gurgaon and Bangalore is much more advanced.
All right. And my last question, so recently in 2023, Morgan & Stanley and Manipal Group has entered this space with Atulya and Kite getting almost 100 crore funding. So what are the long-term aspirations of Max India in terms of the market share, say 2-3 years down the line? Just the market share, what are the long-term aspirations?
So I have earlier stated that, we want to end up with 8 to 10 communities, 2,000 beds of memory care, care homes, care at home and Medcare business, and aim for overall revenues ranging from 500 to 600 crores depending on how we are able to do. We have enough money with us to be able to fund this growth. As and when we explore new ideas, we will then allocate appropriate capital and see what else is needed. But currently we are on track to that aspiration.
All right. Thank you and all the best for the next quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shakti, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please.
So I want to ask about the care home business model. So we see in Gurugram that the contribution has turned positive. So where do we stand in terms of the scalability and the replicability? Like if we open another care home, so is it the same or are we facing some sort of an headwinds?
So there could be variation, but if you look at the going in assumptions of the unit level model, we'd assume that we'll be able to break even in 2 years, from opening, with a steady state, contribution in the 20s, and a revenue signature of about 3 to 5 crores depending on pricing and where we open. And currently we see that we'll be able to, of course, I'm talking about NCR. As we step into other, geographies, the price points could be different. But at a unit level, we still would want to endeavor toward 2-year break-even model. So some of them have gone better than what we expected for them of other services within the care homes. Some of the pricing have been a little lower than what we expected. So net, the model is turning out to be what we expected it to deliver to us.
All right. And another question. So I see on a 9-month basis, our other income has risen from around 6 crore to 8.6 crore. So is it from a treasury income or any other source?
The treasury income.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Kanika Kotari from Kotari Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So, sir, I wanted to ask, my first question is in the care home segment, how many beds will be added in FY24?
Added in FY24, I don't think we want to make any forward-looking statements, but our endeavor is to look at about maybe 175 to 225 kind of beds in that range. Additional beds over current.
Okay, thank you. And secondly, so the care home strategy talks about exploring and accelerating quickly scalable models. Can you elaborate a bit about this?
Yeah, so the model is to take rented accommodation, which are appropriate in terms of quality of infrastructure and facilities. And we would prefer if you have 35 to 50 kind of beds possible. So that's the preference. Near hospitals, so the hospital should not be more than 30 minutes away. So there are some conditions we have devised over a period of time depending on customer preferences. Some facilities will be near the hospital, which are more meant for transition or short stay, and some will be in residential areas, which are for longer stay patients. And then there is a memory care offering that we have. So these 3 formats is what we're looking at for scaling up. As I said, we have 1 product each, in each of the categories at this point of time. And having learned from that, now we are looking at how to replicate them.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Karan Mehra from Mehta Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for taking my question. So in case, if you can share some highlights on what is the potential loss due to the shutdown of GK Care Home?
Very early to comment because, there are other facilities available for us to push the occupancy. So we're trying our best through this and through pushing other verticals to make sure the impact is minimized. So it's too early to comment. Maybe in the next quarter earnings call, I'll be able to give a number around it. But looks like at this point of time, not much.
Okay. So, my second question is when is the company launching phase 2 at Noida, and what will be the price per square foot?
Currently, planning under preparation. We are waiting for clarification from the statutory authorities. Because there are some matters pending with Noida Authority for clarification. From our side, they are preparing now for the launch.
Okay, sir. So that answers my question. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and 1. The next question is on the line of Shiv Kumar Swami, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. It's audible?
Yeah, Shiv, please go ahead.
Sir, thanks for the opportunity. Sir, regarding that, in every presentation you are mentioning about the Brook Darley of US in the same business model. But how you are going to differentiate from Brook Darley's to our Max India's business model? Because in Brook Darley, they didn't create any shareholders value till now. So how we are going to differentiate from that one? That's my question.
Sorry, could you repeat? I can't understand. Sir, group what?
Group Darley. You were mentioning about the Group Darley business that which is in US business.
US?
It's on the US Brook Darley company which work on the same business segment.
Brookdale?
Brook Darley.
Okay.
So how we are going to differentiate from that business model? Because that Brook Darley didn't create any shareholder value till now. It is listed for more than
Yeah. So it's a very different, business, different geography, different, contours. Because please remember, in the West, this is all funded through insurance, and there are other products available for financial help. So we are a different, model totally. As I said, there are 4 verticals. This is just one business that Max India does under Antara Senior Living. There are residences for seniors. There is assisted living. So it's a very different model, I would say, from that.
No, but they're also in the same business model. So that's why.
Actually, those are houses on lease, if I'm not mistaken. Because it works in that context. While in a residences segment, we are doing it, we are selling.
Okay. Thanks for that answer. That's it from my side.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and 1. The next question is on the line of Devendra Pandey from DP Financial Advisory Services. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. So I have a couple of questions regarding the recent incident. So my first question is, what is the current status, both legally and commercially, on the property that caught fire? And also, any financial compensation is provided by Max India to those families?
As I said, the matter is currently under investigation. We are fully cooperating with the authorities at this point of time. We are trying to mitigate the impact by using other facilities to push up the revenue on that side and other business verticals. So at this point of time, there's no other development.
My second question is that this incident has damaged our reputation to some extent. So as a company, how are we dealing to negative publicity?
So at this point of time, we're doing our best to support the residents over there. In fact, all of them continue to avail of our care services. So I said in the short term, we're not seeing any impact at this point of time, but too early for me to comment.
Got it, sir. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and one. The next question is from the line of Shakti, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
So I have a question regarding the care homes. So is the company planning on launching any units in the south? Because we see that it's a secular trend of the population decrease happening in the south, right? The reproduction ratio going down. This is regarding care homes and not senior residents.
We are, as I said, we are planning to expand geography, and in the next few months should be able to share with you once we are done of our foray into south, possibly maybe west. So yes, we are planning.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone wishing to ask a question, may please press star and one. As there are no further questions, I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajat Mehta for his closing comments.
So thank you very much for all the questions and the engaged, interaction we have. So just to summarize, once again, we are well on our track to meet our aspirations of high growth, improving profitability, and margin across the four verticals. We have enough liquidity to push for our future growth, and the focus now is on scale up. We're aspiring to look at 8 to 10 communities, residents for seniors, 2,000 beds of care home, memory care home, and the verticals of Medcare, and care at home as well. So once again, thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Max India Limited, that concludes this conference call. We thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your